Gamer Dude 2088, and welcome to the very first episode of our TOT guys, and we're doing 430. Yeah, even though this is the last one we recorded. Yeah, so you're gonna notice how as you start watching this series, how the recordings were done. You can tell that the lower numbers make a lot more sense than the higher numbers because of the way I recorded. I think I started at like 460, then I did 50, 40, and now I'm doing 30. And then the variations of my team changing throughout. I think I went a little easier here rather than the later ones. But let's get into what actually this video is about. So we're going against the Earth Goblin Shami. So let's see here. Energy leak removes all beneficial effects from all enemies and decreases their defense for 2 turns. So this is an AoE purge, which is not good for us, and we get hit with a death break, which will be devastating once things start hitting us. So we don't want that. This is a muting staff attacks all enemies and muting them, locking their special abilities for 1 turn. And we definitely don't want this to happen either. So whether or not I posted any of the other videos before this one or this one before those, one thing we want to make sure is the boss never moves. If we can keep the boss from moving, that will be beneficial because we don't want the boss skills going off. And then the first skill, attacking enemy, inflicting great damage. Say it's that shamanism. 60% chance of poisoning them for 2 turns. Yeah, we definitely don't want to be poisoned. And we got to deal with the water colossus as well as the water knight. And I'm sure we all know what the water knight does. If not, look it up. Yeah. No, but really, water knight is gonna be a nuisance. And if you've gotten this far already, you've dealt with the water knight prior to getting into wave 3. And the biggest thing that I could say for him is to save him for last, because he's going to be irritating as all ever. But we definitely want to keep him CC'd, so we're going to make sure Herman do a good job of keeping the water knights from doing anything, as well as the colossus, because the colossus can put up an immunity, which will be really nasty if that happens. And we don't have any perjury units in. We could have, but I decided to go without for this video. But we don't have any purge units, so we're going to try to see if we can make sure we keep them CC'd as best as possible, and then I guess kill off the colossus so we don't have to worry about them, and then go straight boss and try to do a little damage here and there to the boss as much as we can. We're pretty much going full poison in this rather than my normal my normal curse type of style, you know, the anti-meta. But we're not using like super poison unit other than the water tree. So let's make it happen. All right. And there you have it. Alright, that was a pretty simple one. I mean, the earlier stages, they're relatively squishy, so it's not really that difficult. I mean, normally I just DPS, AFK run DPS, and they just go right through it, no problem. But that's kind of where you want to go at, you know, kind of make sure that the Colossus don't move and don't do anything. The Knights you don't have to worry about so much because they're not doing too much. Just make sure you do have some CC on them, and then keep the boss from getting turns because you don't want to get hurt. Make sure you do have a cleanse on hand, a buff block, and some decent heals if you need them, if things get a little hairy. And it shouldn't be too difficult for you guys to be able to get through 430. Once you got decent enough bliss for your units, because I know if you're stuck on 30, more likely you're relatively early game, so just have to get some good skill ups on your units. Definitely got to make sure your units are skilled up that you're using, as well as making sure you got them evolved and just ready to go and do the thing. So, I mean, if you are having some troubles and on 30 and this guide has not been beneficial, then you can always message me, let me know what's in your box, what you're using and everything, and go through, see if we can figure something out for you. But if that's still not enough, then maybe you need to do a little more grinding, you know, get your glyphs together, you know, level them up, make sure you have some good glyphs, come back and redo it again, because you definitely have to be glyph well to push through TOT, because it gets rough and rough as you go along. The units become tankier, they become extremely fast to the point where they even outspeed you, they resist a lot more, and as well as it's hard to land crits. So for units like Herman, the Water Bassi, and the Air Bassi as well, you definitely have to make sure you have some good stats on them as far as accuracy and crit goes, for them to really carry you through the later stages. But the first earlier stages, I say all the way to 50, you won't have too much of a problem. But outside of that, then that's when you got to really start working on your glyphs a little more, making sure everything is all set, and you should be good to go. So this is the Gamer Dude signing out. I guess I'll see you in the next TOT guide. Deuces.